A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Johnson's Wax Program with Fibber, McGee, and Molly. Makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coats present Fibber, McGee, and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. One simple sentence that's worth repeating over and over again. To take better care of your things, try waxing them. With replacements more and more difficult is just downright common sense to make things last. Keep them clean, protect them against wear. Dust and dirt, you know, wear things out more than anything else. That's why I say take better care of your things by waxing them. Give your floors, furniture, and woodwork a protective shield of genuine Johnson's Wax. Protect all wood, leather, and enamel surfaces with this same wax polish. Every application of Johnson's Wax gives not only protection, but brings out the natural beauty of the finish. Floors that are regularly waxed grow lovelier every year, and they never need expensive refinishing. There are 100 extra labor-saving uses in your home for genuine Johnson's Wax, which you can buy from your dealer in one of three forms: paste, liquid, or freeze. Poker is pretty much of a man's game. Trying to get out of the house for an evening to play poker is also a man's game. And here, taking a hand in it, we find Fibber McGee of Fibber, McGee, and Molly.
These doggone executive meetings. I don't know why they have to ring me in on all of them.
Well, why don't you just refuse to go, dearie?
Oh, I couldn't do that. I can't let them down. They're depending on me.
Oh.
Look, why don't you go to a movie or something? I don't know how late I'll be out. You know how these things are.
Oh, I don't think there's anything I want to see, McGee. What's at the Bijou?
A couple of guys I never heard of. Saw their names out in front of the theater today. I thought I knew everybody in vaudeville, too.
What are their names?
Matt Daly and Pop Tritus.
Oh.
Why don't you go see him?
No, I don't believe I will, McGee, but I'll tell you what I will do.
Huh, what?
I'll come with you. You can go into your own meeting, and I'll sit outside in the lobby with a magazine and wait for you.
No, that won't do. This meeting might last till way after midnight. And matter of fact, I think it will.
What's the meeting about?
Oh, what's it about? Why, it's the war effort.
No.
We'll probably discuss stuff like labor problems. A lot of the members of the Elks are businessmen and factory owners, and they all want to see if they can get some good hands. To work. In the factories and stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to lay his cards on the table. We're going to try and see that everybody gets a square deal.
Well, now, isn't that grand? I'm proud of you, dearie, for wanting to do your bit.
Oh, shucks. It's nothing that any red-blooded American boy wouldn't do. I hope we can do some good.
Well, I wouldn't gamble on it.
What do you mean, gamble?
Well, I mean, these meetings are liable to be so much talk and so little action.
Oh, we'll get some action, all right. I'll lay a bet on that.
Good for you. I'll just stay home.
Hey, maybe this is somebody that'll stay and spend the evening with you. Come in.
Hi, mister. Hi, Miss McGee.
Oh, hi, sis.
Hello, little girl.
I haven't got time to stand and talk to you now, sis. I got to go out to a meeting.
Oh, my daddy's going out, too. He says he's going to do some research.
Research?
Mm-hmm. He says he's finally going to find out if it's scientifically possible to fill an inside straight. What's an inside straight, mister?
Well, of course I...
Why, that's a poker hand, little girl. And if it'll save your father any trouble, you can tell him he can only fill one once in 13,789 draws.
Well, I didn't know you knew so much about poker, Molly.
Why, I love to play poker, dearie. And I think it's pretty selfish of the men to want to play by themselves all the time.
Yes, I imagine...
My daddy says women clear up the game.
Oh.
Yeah. He says they always want to play fancy poker games like grocery store and baseball and duck on a rock.
Duck on a rock? That's a new one on me, sis. What kind of poker game is that?
Everything wild but the ace of spades.
For a kid your age, sis, you really get around.
Well, my daddy plays cards all the time, I bet you.
Oh.
He's always making excuses to get out of the house so he can play poker.
He does, huh? Imagine that.
You know, I think that's ridiculous. Now, if a man wants to go out once in a while to play cards with his men friends, why doesn't he just say so?
You mean that, Molly?
Why, of course I do. That doesn't apply to you, though, dearie, because you always lose your shirt.
Oh, I don't know.
My daddy does, too, I bet you. My mama says we're going to have the doors in our house made bigger on account of my daddy's always coming home with a barrel. Are you going to see my daddy tonight, mister?
Who, me? Why?
No. Mr. McGee is going to an executives meeting at the Elks Club, little girl.
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
one of
but
the...
my daddy says...
Never mind what your daddy says. I got too much to do to waste my time. Hey, where are you going, Molly?
Well, I've got a cake in the oven, McGee. Now, you leave whenever you like. I'll be all right, dearie.
Okay, I'll let you know before I go. Now, look here, sis. You better run along because I'm pretty busy. I got an important meeting tonight.
Okay, mister. But I thought my daddy said you were going to be one of the...
Please, sis. Never mind what your daddy says. I guess I know what I'm going to do tonight. Now, you run along. You talk too much.
Okay. But if you want to stop at our house on your way to the meeting and bring your stuff, my daddy will give you a lift, I bet you.
Give me a lift with what stuff?
I don't know, mister. Some dirty clothes, I guess.
Doggone it, why should I stop by your house with some old clothes?
Mister, all I know is what my daddy said.
What did he say?
He said he was looking forward to taking you to the cleaners. Go on.
Oh, for goodness sakes, McGee, stop fidgeting.
Well, gee whiz, doggone it. I hate to go out to a meeting and leave you here all alone. I feel like a deserter.
Well, don't be like that. Maybe your meeting will break up early.
I don't think so. We got a lot of important things to consider tonight. For instance, you know that cat that they keep around the Elks Club to catch mice?
Yes?
Well, she's been getting pretty thin lately. Ain't been fed properly.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it takes a big special meeting of grown men to sit around arguing about who's going to feed the kitty.
Yes, it does. See?
I'll get it. Hello? Oh, hello, Abigail, darling. Yes. No, he's going out to a committee meeting at the Elks Club tonight. No, I was just going to stay home. What? Oh, yes. Yes, come on over and we'll talk. Yes, goodbye, Abigail.
What's that old bass fiddle unstrung about?
Well, she just wanted to know what I was doing this evening. She might come over a little later.
Oh, that's swell. You girls can have a fine old time chinning. If you're one chin and Uppy's three, you can have a four-way conversation.
For goodness sake, will you stop fretting about what I'm going to do this evening?
Well, I know, Molly, but I...
Got me all fussed here.
Yeah.
I've been by myself before.
Yeah, I know, but...
I won't play with matches. I won't put beans in my ears. I won't mark up the wallpaper. Now stop worrying.
Well, gee whiz, it's just that I feel kind of guilty running out on you like this.
Heavenly days, if you have to go to a meeting, you have to go, that's all. Besides, if I... Come in.
Hello there, kids. Hey, you know anything about weddings?
Well, we had one once, if that makes us experts, old-timer.
What was it you wanted to know, Mr. Old-timer?
Me and Bessie are stepping off one of these days, daughter, and we want to do it right. Who's supposed to pay for what?
Well, the groom buys the bride's bouquet and the presents for the best man and the ushers.
Ushers? What do you think we're getting married at a movie?
I see where this is going to be an informal wedding. And you're picking a bum time for it, too, old-timer.
What you mean, Johnny?
Who's going to spend 3 ration coupons just so they can throw rice at a couple of chumps?
Oh.
Who's tying any of their old shoes on the back of an automobile with no gasoline in it?
Don't let him discourage you, Mr. Oldtimer. You and Bessie go ahead and get married. Where's it going to be? At the bride's home?
That good etiquette?
Why, sure it is. On account of so often the groom is living at the YMCA.
Then you'll want about 4 ushers, 4 bridesmaids, 2 flower girls, a maid of honor, a best man, and a ring bearer.
Yeah, going to be kind of hard to handle, daughter.
Why?
Bessie and her old man live in a trailer. Guess maybe we better just sneak out to a justice of peace someplace.
Oh, I wish we could be there as witnesses.
You gotta have witnesses?
Why, certainly. Why not?
What if you want to get out of it later? Those witnesses be kind of embarrassing.
Now, don't talk like that. Aren't you and Bessie in love with each other?
Oh, daughter, every time I see Bessie, my heart goes bumpity, bumpity, bump. I get short of breath. My hands tremble. My mouth gets dry. Hey, is that love or am I smoking too much?
Well, they're both expensive habits. Hey, what does this Bessie look like, old-timer?
Have you got a snapshot of her we could see?
Sure have, kids. Got a Lulu right here. Bessie's sunbathing behind the trailer. Here, take a look. That's Bessie on the left. Trailer's on the right.
Say, this picture's so faint I can't make it out, Mr. Oldtimer.
Yeah, it ain't very good at that, daughter. Must have been overexposed when I developed it.
Oh, you do your own developing. Where's your dark room?
My what?
Your dark room. Don't you have a dark room to develop your pictures in?
No. Too much trouble, daughter. I get the same effect by blindfolding myself. Well, much obliged, kids. I'll let you know when the happy day comes. Here comes the groom. Here comes the groom. Hold up, folks.
Oh, my gosh, I almost forgot. Hey, Molly, where's the checkbook?
It's in my purse, dearie. What do you want the checkbook for?
Oh, well, something might come up at the meeting tonight where I might need a few bucks. You know, a donation to some charity or something. Besides, the steaks are usually pretty hot.
Steaks? What steaks?
Oh, I mean, if the meeting lasts too long, sometimes we send out for hamburger steaks. And if we don't have enough chips, potato chips, well, gee whiz, I want to pay my share. All the other fellas...
Hello, folks.
Hello, Mr. Wilcox.
Hi, Junior. What can we do for you?
I just wanted to remind you, Fibber, about that poker.
Oh, yes, about that poker. Yeah. Well, the blacksmith says he'll have it ready about the first of the week.
What?
Yeah. You see, Molly, the last time I was over to Wilcox's house, I tried to fix the fire in the fireplace and bent the poker all out of shape. Guess I don't know my own strength. Teach me a good lesson. Yes, sir, it sure will.
Say, what are you getting so red in the face about, McGee? What's a little poker between friends?
That's what I say. He'll pay for it, won't you, Fibber?
Well, I usually do. Why, certainly. Certainly I'll pay for it.
Say, are you going to the executives' meeting at the Elks Club tonight, Mr. Wilcox?
What executive?
You know, Junior, the annual, the meeting that was scheduled for the big meeting.
Oh, No, I don't think I can attend a committee meeting tonight.
Oh.
I've got to meet an old auntie tonight.
Oh. Isn't that nice? Say, if you're coming near here, Mr. Wilcox, bring her in. I'll give you some coffee and cake. What's your auntie's name?
Philpott. She's one of the...
Doggone it, Junior. What are you standing around here for, gabbing about your relatives? Don't try to cover up with a lot of idle conversation.
Cover up what, McGee?
Well, gee whiz, we know what he's here for. Why don't you get at it? He ain't fooling anybody.
Okay, pal. You asked for it.
Let's have it.
Give your kitchen linoleum a new deal with Johnson's Self-Polish and Glow Coat next time you have a full house for a card party.
Oh.
Enjoy that royal flush of pride you'll get from a clean, sparkling kitchen floor. See how easily spots and footprints wipe right off a glow-coated linoleum. How much more sanitary your kitchen is with the floor surface wax-sealed against dust and dirt. If you spill something off a tray, it can't raise the deuce with your linoleum because Glow Coat is aces in protection. Get a container of Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat today. It's your dealer's choice. So long, folks. I'll see you.
McGee, you're shaking like a leaf. What's the matter?
Oh, I get so mad at that guy. Don't you know what he was trying to do? Trying to get my goat with all them card terms just because I bent his cheap old poker.
Oh, don't be so sensitive. You're as thin-skinned as a toy balloon. Now, you run along to your meeting. I've got some mending to do.
I wish you'd get somebody to come over and stay a while or go to a movie or something. Gee whiz,
don't be so silly. Why are you so anxious to have me do something tonight?
Well, it ain't fair for me to have all the... for me to go out and maybe stay so late and all. I just thought that maybe...
70 days. Who on earth is that now?
McGee. Uh-oh. It's that Spanish girl that moved in down the street. The one that her brother is a pilot from South America.
Oh, she's sweet.
Yeah.
Come in.
Ay, buenas tardes, mis queridos amigos. Do you memorize me?
Hi, sis. Sure, we memorize, or you bet we remember you.
Well, it's nice to see you again. How's your brother?
My brother? Oh, he's sitting down on top of the world, gracias. They have made him a captain now, and he is very proud to be so right.
You mean proud of his rank, sis?
Oh, see. I still make one or two little mistakes with my English. But my honker says I am learning very fastly.
Your what?
My honker. I have a special honker for English.
Honker? Oh, you mean tutor, sis?
Oh. Tutor. He also tuts my brother Carlos.
Now, look, dearie, I don't think we even know each other's names. I'm Mrs. McGee, and this is my husband, Mr. McGee.
Ay, tengo tantísimo gusto en conocerles a ustedes dos que son tan simpáticos. My name is Moreno, Rosita Moreno.
Oh, glad to know you, sis. You married?
No, senor. Many times I have been proposed at, but never am I marrying somebody until I have my head over my healing love. It is a serious thing for a girl to go from singlehood to marriedhood.
Yes, it certainly is, dearie. In marriage, it's a case of look before you leap and then walk around if you have time. But what was it we could do for you?
You mean, why are you visiting me in your house? Well, I am just murdering some time until Carlos is coming home. So I think I will butt myself in on those very nice people down the street. Oh, I hope you're not bothering me.
Sis, you drop in any time and practice your new English. I might pick up a little Spanish at the same time. I'm pretty good at languages. Overseas in the last war, I learned parlez-vous French like a native.
Yeah, like a native Hawaiian. Say, you must bring your brother over sometime, too, Miss Marino.
Oh, please call me Rosita. With friends, if it is foolish to stand on formaldehyde.
Formality, Rosita.
Oh, sí, formality. Gracias.
Yeah. Well, how do you say you're welcome in Spanish?
De nada.
De nada.
That's it.
See how quick I pick it up, Molly?
Oh, you're wonderful, McGee. You ought to be appointed our next ambassador to Peru, Indiana. Now, don't forget, Rosita, you and your brother come over any time.
Oh, muchas gracias, señora. I will tell Carlos, and he will be very delightful. To know I have been making good friends with close neighbors, he will keep himself out of it good.
You know what?
Maybe I mean he will hand himself a good kick.
No, I don't think you mean that.
He will give himself a pat on the back with his foot.
No, that isn't exactly...
Oh, I know. He will get out of it big with a kick.
Oh, do you mean we'll get a big kick out of it?
Oh, sí. Ay, pero qué tonta soy, qué cabeza tengo. Bueno, ya me voy. Muchísimas gracias por todo y hasta mañana, amigos.
Come again?
Thank you. I will.
Kingsman and murder, he says.
Boy and girl used to build and cool back in 1892. Building and cooling is corny today. Boy meets girl and right away he says murder, he says. When they meet, she says murder, she says. Beat your feet, they say murder. Is that the language of love? She says solid, she says, meaning his arm. Solid, he says, meaning her charm. Solid, they say, is that the language of love? He says, chick, chick, you torture me, zoot. Are we living? Shoot me the snoot for a kiss. She says, dick, dick, the jump the old picker is given. What kind of a ransom is this? Hep, hep. She says, murder. When he holds her tight, she says, murder. And he says, good night. Now, if they keep it up in that impossible tone, he'll bring on nobody's murder but their own. Bow made his plea on bended knee. Nowadays, in other ways, a zoot suitor in love's pursuit. He says, Jackson, he says, shoot me to rights. Jackson, he says, make with his fight. Jackson, he says, now who the heck is Jackson? He says, hep, hep, with helium, babe, now we're cooking. And other things to wit. Quote, get in the groove, jump where you're looking, unquote. His uppers don't fit. He says murder, not a date. Jackson, digging gate, solid man. I like to catch him alone. I'd make that murder he talks about exclusively his own.
I guess I better be leaving any minute now.
Fine, run along, dearie.
You sure you don't want to go to a movie or something?
McGee, for the 10,000th time, I tell you, I'll be perfectly happy. Now get along to your own committee meeting.
You won't worry if I'm kind of late.
No, but you wasted 10 years worrying about whether I'd worry or not. Get along with you.
Okay, but gee, I wish you'd just...
Oh, dear, now who? Come in.
Hello, Mrs. McGee. Hello, Miss Wimple.
Hi, Wimp. Oh, Bruiser.
How are you, Mr. Wimple?
Oh, healing up nicely, thank you, Mr. Wimple. I just met a friend of Mr. McGee's, and I promised him I'd remind Mr. McGee of the date he had tonight.
Oh, yeah, sure. Date with the executive committee at the Elks. Sure. Well, thanks, Wimp. Much obliged. How's everything going with your physical culture work?
Just splendidly, Mr. McGee. See how I'm filling out?
Oh, that reminds me, dearie. Our laundry bag didn't come back this week. Where do you work out with your gymnastics, Mr. Wimple?
Oh, I fixed up a dandy little gym down in our coal bin, Mrs. McGee.
Makes it kind of tough when you fall off a trapeze or something, don't it, Wimp?
Oh, no, it's soft coal.
Oh.
That's nice, but that isn't a very lovely place to exercise.
I should say not, Wimp. You ought to have fresh air. Work out in your bedroom or someplace. Open the window and take great, big, deep breaths like this.
Oh, I couldn't.
You couldn't take deep breaths?
I couldn't open the window. But I will very soon now. I'm getting stronger every day. Last week, I only weighed 78 pounds, and guess what I weigh now?
I could never guess.
77. I'm just burning off the fat. And see how much straighter I'm standing? Sweetie Face is teaching me to keep my shoulders back.
How's she teaching you?
Oh, she throws me down on my face, puts her knee in my back, and pulls up on my shoulders.
Heavenly days.
Hey, you can get a busted clavicle that way, Wimp.
Oh, no. I always think before the bone actually breaks.
Does Doesn't your wife take it easy when you face?
Oh, yes, indeed. This morning when I came to, there she was, standing over me, wringing her hands.
Oh, and what did you say?
I couldn't say anything. She had my neck between them.
Goodness sakes, Miss Wimble, I don't know how you stand it. Didn't you ever think of leaving?
Oh, yes, I had, Mrs. McGee. One summer I spent every afternoon sitting on a curbstone out in front, hoping some gypsies would steal me. They never did. Well, I've got to be going now.
Where to, Wimp?
I've got to meet Sweetie Face down at the feed store.
Oh, is she buying feed?
No, she's just getting weighed. Well, goodbye now.
Say, more people come in to remind you of that committee meeting, McGee. Must be very important.
Oh, it is. And I better be getting down there, too. I got a superstition about being there for the first hand.
First hand?
I want first-hand information about...
For goodness sake, come in. Oh, hello, Abigail.
How do you do, Mr. McGee and Mr. McGee?
Hi, Effie. Glad to see you. Wriggle out of the minx and fling the body on a stool. Slip your shoes off, too, if you like. Only 3 pair a year, you know. You're pretty heavy on them.
Thank you.
You girls will excuse me if I duck along, won't you? I got an important committee meeting at the Elks, Uppy.
Go right along, Miss McGee. I have managed to struggle through 23 hours and 55 minutes of the day without your magnetic personality. I think I shall survive the other 5 minutes.
Thank you. Hey, are you sure it's okay with you, Molly, if I don't get home very early? These meetings are after...
No. Now run along and don't come home till you get good and ready. I'll be perfectly all right.
Okay, well, so long, Uppy.
Good evening, Miss McGee.
And, I almost forgot. You didn't give me the checkbook, Molly.
I haven't time to look for it now, dearie.
Well, okay. Well, so long, Molly. See you later.
McGee, you didn't kiss me goodbye.
Huh? Goodbye. I'll see you later.
Come, my dear, we shall have to hurry. We're 10 minutes late now.
Where is the bingo game tonight, Abigail?
That's modest news. You'd better bring about $5. I lost $3.75 the last time.
Well, I've got the checkbook in my purse. Where's my hat? Oh, here it is. I'm ready, Abigail. I've been looking forward to this ever since you called me up.
But how about Mr. McGee? Will his committee meeting take long?
Committee meeting my clavicle. He's headed for a poker game, Abigail. I've been trying to get him out of here for an hour. Come on, let's go.
I made an interesting discovery last week. I was talking with 2 ladies about their housekeeping. You know how easy it is for me to keep changing the subject until we finally get around to Johnson's wax or self-polishing glow coat. Well, it seems that both of these women had been using Johnson's glow coat on their linoleum floors for a long time and were enthusiastic about it. They knew it saved them hours of work, kept their floors beautiful, and protected them against wear. But they didn't realize that the regular use of glow coat actually makes linoleum wear 6 to 10 times longer. In fact, the primary reason for using glow coat or Johnson's paste or liquid wax is this protection it gives to floor surfaces. The beauty that goes with it is like a special dividend. And right now, when we need to make our things last, it's important to keep all linoleum protected regularly with Johnson's self-polishing glow coat. The floor polish that shines as it dries without rubbing or buffing.
At the Elks, dearie.
Oh, very, very good. I hope you didn't have too dull an evening with Uppy yourself.
Well, to tell the truth, we went out to a bingo game.
Huh?
I lost $2.60.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Well, to tell the truth, I was playing poker. I won $12.
Well, while we're telling the truth, I knew you were playing poker.
What? What was the idea of kidding me along?
Well, I knew you'd have more fun if you thought you were getting away with something. I wish I'd have gone with you.
Huh?
Abigail just sits there with no expression whatsoever.
Poker face?
I was tempted to once or twice.
Good night.
Good night, all.
The characters of the old-timer and Wallace Wimple heard on this program were played by Bill Thompson. This is Marla Wilcox, speaking for the makers of Johnson's Wax Finishes for Home and Industry, inviting you to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night. This program has reached you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Kraft presents The Great Gildersleeve. The Kraft Cheese Company, who also bring you Bing Crosby every Thursday night, present each week at this time Harold Perry as The Great Gildersleeve, written by John Wheaton and Sam Moore. We'll hear from The Great Gildersleeve in just a moment. But first, an old proverb says that you've got to spend money to make money. Be that as it may, I'll twist that old saying around and tell you how one clever homemaker spends just 3 red ration stamps to save red ration stamps. Well, if that sounds odd, try doing what she does with Pabstet, the delicious, nourishing cheese food of 100 uses. First, make a smooth cheese sauce with Pabstet and a little milk. Then pour it over leftovers of meat or fish or vegetables or rice, fixed any way you like, and see how family appetites react to that simple magic. You've saved food and you've pleased Dad and the kids. That's worthwhile economy. They'll like the unique cheddar cheese flavor of Pabstet in a variety of other ways, too. You can melt it with macaroni for grand-tasting casseroles, toast it to perfection, or serve it sliced with dessert or just by itself. Pabstet is made to please the most particular appetites, and it's a splendid source of important milk nutrients your family needs. So ask your dealer for Pabstet, the delicious, nourishing cheese food of 100 uses. Remember the name, Pabstet. First came the horse. In time, the horse was eliminated, and a self-propelling vehicle was developed through the efforts of men like Henry Ford, Stutz, Chandler, and others. None of these could have foreseen that the culmination of all these centuries of progress would be a 1940 6-cylinder four-door sedan at the wheel of which could be found Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve. Yet that's where we find him today, just turning into his driveway and heading for the garage. Something seems to be amiss, and it sounds like the motor.
Come on, Jenny. Come on, old girl. We're almost there. Well, we made it.
Unc, is that you?
Certainly. Who does it sound like?
Barney Oldfield. What happened?
I don't know, Leroy. There's something wrong with the old bus. Stick your shirt tail in.
Yes, sir.
I stopped by the service station to get Mike to take a look at it.
Mike's been drafted.
So I discovered. I don't know what I'm going to do now. I guess I'll have to fix it myself.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding. We'll all be making our own repairs sooner or later. We might as well start now.
Might as well start walking.
I guess I'll go in and get some old clothes on, Leroy. Bring that package when you come. It's on the front seat there. Cigars.
Hey, Unc, wait. I got an idea.
Oh? What's that, my boy?
How about the boyfriend?
Boyfriend? Oh, you mean Ben?
Yeah, he'll be bringing Marge home any minute. He knows all about motors and stuff.
Well, I know a few things about motors myself. I don't need any help from Ben.
Miss Gildersleeve?
Yes, Bertie?
Good evening. Have you got my groceries?
Groceries? Oh, well, I'll tell you about that, Bertie. I didn't forget. I thought about the groceries, but the way the car's acting up, I didn't dare stop.
Well, I don't know what I'm going to do for dinner.
Oh, here are your cigars, Unc.
Thanks. I got these before the car started acting up, Bertie.
Well, I'm sure I don't know what I'm going to do about dinner, and that's a fact.
Couldn't we just have some beans or something?
Mr. Gildersleeve, beans come out of a can. That's 14 points in the ration book.
Hang the expense. Have we got any?
Well, we've got one can. I've been saving it in my hope chest.
Break it out, Bertie. This is an emergency.
If you say so, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, and Bertie.
Yes, sir?
Do you think we'll have enough to invite Marjorie's young man to stay to supper?
Well, if I stretch him, maybe.
I thought you didn't need any help from Ben, Unc.
I don't. Never mind, Bertie. Just the 3 of us. But wait. Here they come now, Marjorie and Ben. I'll just see what his plans are. Well, my dear.
Marjorie, don't act like this. Gosh, you don't understand.
I understand perfectly. And as long as you act like that, I'm going to act like this. Goodbye.
Hello, Uncle Mort. Hey, what's the matter with Her Highness?
I don't know. Sounds like trouble.
What's it going to be, Mr. Gildersleeve? Beans for 3 or beans for 4?
Beans for 3, I guess, Bertie. Come on, Leroy. Let's get at that engine.
after?
No, Leroy, you may not.
Just a little. Just down the driveway.
No.
Why not?
I've told you why not. You're too young and you don't know anything about cars.
I know as much as some people.
Besides, it's against the law. Now, let's get busy here. How do you open this hood? Darn thing.
Never get it open that way.
And how do you open it?
Oh, I don't know anything about cars.
Come on, Leroy. How do you open it?
You have to unlock it first.
Well, unlock it then if you know so much.
Sure. There you are. No, Unc, the other end.
Oh, yeah, that's what I thought. There. Now we're getting someplace. Well, look at that, the engine.
What are you going to do to it, Unc?
Fix it.
Yeah, but how?
Don't keep asking questions. I'll figure that out when I come to it.
If you ask me, you've come to it.
Yes. Well, Leroy, get me the screwdriver and we'll see what's what here. Gotta get to the bottom of this.
Screwdriver. Here, Unc.
Thanks. Well, guess we better unscrew something, huh?
Well, what seems to be the trouble, Unc?
I think the engine's missing, Leroy. Either that or the clutch is slipping. In either case, it's probably the carburetor. There's a little valve in there. Dirt gets into it. You just take it apart and blow into it.
How did you learn so much about carburetors, Unc?
Oh, you pick up these things, my boy. I've seen Mike do it. Now, where is the little devil? Here we are.
Unc, that's not the carburetor.
How do you know? Don't do that.
I didn't. You did it.
Huh? Oh, must have some connection with the horn.
It is the horn.
Oh. Well, the horn seems to be all right. We better try something else. Uh-oh. I don't like the looks of this.
If you're looking for the carburetor, Unc, you're getting cold.
A little less advice, young man, and we'll get along better here.
Okay.
Just to watch the way I do this, you'll be in a position to do it yourself if you ever have to. You see, I just... It sticks.
You get a shock, Unc?
And I bumped my head, too. I dropped the screwdriver in there. It's down inside the engine there.
You'll probably have to take the grease pan off to get it.
Well, how do you get the grease pan off?
Screwdriver.
Fine. What did Marjorie have to go and get in a fight with Ben for? Well, I'll just have to see if I can reach down in there and get it. Unless you want to try, Leroy.
Your arms are longer than mine, Unc.
Well, agility counts, too, you know.
Yeah, but I don't know as much about cars as you do.
All right.
Want me to boost you in there, Unc?
No, keep away from me. Greasy, filthy, dirty, nasty, filthy, dirty, nasty, filthy. I got it.
Well, the boy mechanic.
Who's that?
His Honor. Hi, Judge.
Hello, Leroy. Throckmorton, what have you been up to? Look at you. Grease all over your shirt. You're a mess.
Yeah, I know it.
What seems to be the trouble, Gildy?
The engine's missing.
Well, have you notified the police?
Oh, 23 skidoo, hooker. What do you want in here anyway?
Well, I just dropped in to ask for the loan of a rake, Gildy. I thought I'd do a little work on my victory garden. But if I can be of any assistance to you
Give him the rake, Leroy.
Okay. Unc's been looking for the carburetor, Judge, and I tried to tell him that's it.
Where?
Right there.
The boy is absolutely right, Gildy. Any fool knows that.
What do you know about it, you old grampus? You and your reel. I bet it hasn't even got a carburetor.
There's an old saying, Gildersleeve, there are none so blind as those who will not see. Go on, pull your car to pieces, scatter it all over the place, but when you've finally taken everything else apart, you'll discover that is the carburetor.
You don't have to make a speech about it.
I'll take that rake now, Leroy, if you'll be so good.
Here you are, Judge.
I shall return it.
See that you do.
Thanks.
You're welcome. The old windbag. He could be right, though. Leroy, just for the sake of argument, suppose we take this little gadget apart here, huh?
Now you're getting somewhere. You're going to need a wrench for that, though.
After all the work I went to fish this screwdriver out?
Yeah, you might as well throw it back in. Here, let me see if this'll fit.
Leroy, I'm doing this.
Okay. You getting it?
Yeah, it's coming.
Attaboy.
Uncle Mort.
Oh, what does she want?
Leroy.
What do you want?
Leroy, don't holler in my ear.
Supper.
Be right there.
Oh! no, you did it. There goes the carburetor all over the lot.
Who did it? What did you let go for?
Why did you shout for?
Who shouted?
Well, who let go? It came apart in my hand. You hadn't shouted, I wouldn't have dropped it. I told you not to shout.
Uncle Mort!
All right!
How did you make out with the car, Uncle Mort? Is it a powerhouse now?
Well, not exactly, my dear, but I think I've definitely located the trouble. Carburetor.
Well, what's wrong with the carburetor? It's all over the garage.
Eat your beans.
Well, I only hope we'll get it finished by tomorrow. Brady and I have some shopping to do, haven't we?
We sure have. Got to get all the groceries for the weekend.
Well, you can always have them delivered if you have to.
Not no more.
The A1 grocery doesn't deliver now?
No, sir. With them, it's strictly come and get it.
And the last one gets a rotten egg.
That's right. You have to go down there in person and raffle for it.
Well, Leroy can always run down on his bicycle.
Nope, flat tire.
Oh, well.
Oh, come clean, Uncle Mort. Aren't you going to get that car put together by tomorrow?
Oh, I'll get it put together. Don't worry about that. I'll get it put together. Just hope it'll run, that's all.
Why don't you just break down and get Ben to help you? He could fix it in no time.
Young man, when I want any advice from you, I'll break down and ask for it.
Okay. Can I be excused?
You may be excused, Leroy. And stick your shirt tail in.
Okay.
By the way, Marjorie, speaking of Ben, why don't we have him to supper tomorrow, huh?
Uncle Mort, you know perfectly well that Ben and I are not speaking.
Since when?
Since 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Oh, no, I'm sorry to hear that.
We're not going to be speaking till Ben makes up his mind.
About what?
Whether he's a man or a mouse.
Oh, I don't think you're being fair to Ben, my dear. He's a little shy, perhaps.
A little?
But he's a fine, capable lad, and I don't like to hear you say...
Capable of putting a car together, maybe, but he's not capable of making up his own mind.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
He won't speak up. He lets people walk all over him. No woman wants to marry a man like that.
Has he asked you to marry him?
No, that's another thing. It's not what I'm mad about.
What are you mad about?
Well, down at the plant today, a job opened up in Ben's department. And did Ben get it? No. Chet Healy got it.
Who, that loudmouth?
Yes. At least he had the nerve to walk into the front office and talk to them. Not Ben, though. No, car baby, he ain't say nothing.
Yes.
So now he's working for Chet.
Oh, that's too bad.
Oh, it burns me up. Ben knows 3 times as much as Chet does. 5 times. How's anyone going to find it out if he never opens his mouth?
Well, you seem to have found it out.
That's different.
Yeah?
Trouble with Ben is he's just too nice. Everybody imposes on him and he lets them. Every time he comes over here, you get him to work on something.
Telephone, my dear. All right. You don't want to be too hard on Ben, my dear. You could do a lot to help him if you
I'm
don't...
not interested.
Gildersleeve's wet wash. Please pick up and deliver.
Oh, sure. I thought you were Piggy. Just a minute. Marge, it's Ben.
Ben?
Here's your chance, Unc. Tell Ben I don't care to speak to him.
Wait a minute now. You can't tell him that, my dear. Tell him to hold on, Leroy. Tell him I'll speak to him.
Just a minute. Unc wants to speak to you. Uncle Mort, if you ask him over here, I won't see him.
Now, be fair, my dear. We haven't had him over here in several days, and I think it'd be only decent...
And if you use me as an excuse to get him over here to help you with that car, I won't speak to you.
Why, Marjorie, I'm hurt that you would even think such a thing. Be right there, Leroy.
Here he comes.
Here, give it to me. Hello, Ben. How are you, my boy? Just fine. How are you? Oh, I'm fine. Marjorie? Well, I'll tell you, Ben, she's in the bathtub right now.
Uncle Mort.
Yeah, taking a bath, Ben. You know, all wet. Is there any message I can give her?
There's a message you can give him. Tell him I don't care if I never see him again.
She's dying to see you, Ben, and she wants to know if you'll come over to supper tomorrow night.
I said nothing of the kind. If he comes over here, you can entertain him.
Fine. She says to come early, about 2 o'clock. Yeah, we'll play games, Ben. Yeah. And, oh, Ben, be sure to wear old clothes.
The Great Gildersleeve will be with us again in a few seconds. But first, let me ask, are you homemakers shopping before you go to the store these days? Now that it takes 2 kinds of money to buy so many foods, red ration stamps as well as cash, you'll find that planning in advance will save many vexing moments. For each meal, plan the main dish first, then carefully build the rest of the meal around it, using your newspaper list of point values. That way you can be sure that family appetites will be tempted and that meals will be satisfying because they're well balanced. If you want to surprise the family with a real treat that's economical with both red ration stamps and cash, in planning your meals for this week, include the delicious cheese food Pabstet. Pabstet has a unique cheddar cheese flavor that's grand with main dishes, or serve it as a smooth cheese sauce with leftovers in a variety of ways. Pabstet's wonderfully nourishing, too. It's a fine source of many vitally important milk nutrients your family needs. Now, you may not be able to buy Pabstet the first time you try because so much of the nation's dairy food is going to war. But watch for it and buy Pabstet when you can. Just 3 red ration points for a generous package. Remember the name Pabstet, Pabst-ETT. Pabstet. Back to our hero. His plans are progressing favorably since after a good night's sleep, Marjorie seems more or less reconciled to the thought of seeing Ben. It's afternoon now, and we find Gildersleeve lying on the floor of his garage working on his long-suffering car, assisted by the long-suffering Leroy.
Yeah, I think she's coming now, Leroy.
You'll be sorry, Unc.
Don't be silly, my boy. I've got a suspicion the whole trouble is right in here.
And that's what you said yesterday when you took off the carburetor.
Well, when Ben gets here, he'll confirm my theory, I'm certain.
You're going to make him work too, ain't you, Unc?
I'm not making anybody work, Leroy. I'm entirely opposed to the principle of slave labor. If you're not interested in what you're doing, you may go.
Oh, boy.
Leroy.
Can't I go?
No. Only said that to test your character.
I'd like it better if I could do some of the hammering down under there. You sure gave me the worst part of this job.
Yeah, but yours is a very important part, my boy. Be patient.
Oh, nuts.
Well, Leroy, if you aren't a model for a Christian martyr, what on earth are you doing?
Can't you see?
Well, I can see you standing there with a vacant look on your face, holding that blanket as if you were going to catch somebody jumping out of a burning building.
Don't make fun of Leroy, Marjorie. He's helping me with an important job.
Oh, you're down under there. What's Leroy doing?
Well, I'm trying to knock the timing gear loose.
And once she busts loose, I catch all the pieces in the blanket.
Are you kidding?
No.
Well, in that case, I want you both to hold still while I go get my camera.
Huh?
I want to record this for posterity.
Hi, Marjorie.
Hello, Ben.
Hiya, Ben.
Hi, young fella.
I'll be right back, Ben. I want to get my camera and take a picture of these 2 idiots.
2? Where's your uncle?
I'm under here, young.
Oh, gosh. I mean...
Don't let Uncle Mort talk you into any work on that car now.
Oh, don't worry, Marjorie. I won't get under there. New suit.
Nice, too. Well, I won't be a second.
Leroy, give me a hand. I want to come up and see Ben for a minute.
Okay, Unc. Blow out all your breath and pull in your stomach. Keep on.
Well, hello, Ben. Glad to see you.
Glad to see you, Mr. Gildersleeve. Doing a little repairing, I see.
Yes, I am repairing. It's every motor's duty in wartime. By the way, I'm having a little trouble getting this gadget loose here, Ben. I wonder if you'd mind just slipping under there and having a little peek.
Oh, I'm afraid I couldn't, Mr. Gildersleeve. Not in these clothes. New suit.
Well. Now, don't you worry, my boy. I wouldn't have you spot that suit for the world. Here, slip into these overalls.
Oh, but gee, Mr. Gildersleeve.
No trouble at all, my boy. Here.
But Marjorie said
You'll never know. Leroy won't tell, will you, Leroy? Why, that little... He sneaked off. Marjorie will never know, Ben. Here. You'll be under there and out again before she gets back.
Yeah, but she only wants to get a camera.
That's what she said, my boy. But I guess we know women, don't we?
Oh. Yeah, you bet.
Yeah. That's the stuff. Here's the wrench. You see that thing that's holding it?
Yeah, I think so.
Atta boy. Here she comes.
Well, I've got the camera and it's all loaded. Where's Ben?
Ben?
Yes, Ben. Where did he go? Uncle Throckmorton, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Now, Marjorie.
And you should be ashamed, too, Ben Waterford.
Now, wait a minute, Marge.
And his new suit, too. How could you do it, Uncle Mort?
Overalls. Besides, it was really his own idea, Marjorie. He practically insisted.
I don't believe it. Well, Ben, aren't you coming out of there?
What'd you say, Marge?
I said, I suppose you're going to stay down there all day.
Oh, no, I'll come right out.
But, Ben, did you get the whatchamacallit loose?
No, I didn't.
And he's not going to.
Well, it'll only take a second, Marge.
Oh, well, you listen to me, Ben Waterford. You haven't any more spine than a piece of spaghetti. You let yourself be pushed around down at the factory by a boy with half your ability. And then you come out here and let yourself be pushed around by a lazy old man with a big stomach.
Oh! Marjorie!
Goodbye.
Hey, Marge. Hey. Well, stop for Mr. Gildersleeve. Oh, gosh. Let's get out of here. Wait till I get...
Overalls? No suit. Where did Marge go? She went out the front gate, Ben, and down the street.
Oh, golly, I can't chase her in these torn pants. What'll I do?
Don't worry, lad. You'll be all right. Oh, it was wonderful the way you stood your ground there. Oh. By George, you certainly told her, Ben. Yes, sir, that was a mighty fine supper. Aren't you glad you stayed now, Ben?
Well, pretty glad. Yes, sir.
Oh. Well, let's get at that car again. What do you say?
You don't suppose Marjorie might be coming in soon?
Don't worry about her. She'll turn up soon enough. She's probably seeing the early show at the Majestic. Might just as well work on the car till she gets here, Ben.
Well, I want to talk to her before I go. But in the meantime...
That's the spirit. We'll both work on it, and before you know it, zingo.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Oh, my goodness.
What's the matter?
I'm clean out of cigars, practically. Tell you what, I'll run down to the drugstore and pick up a couple while you get started. Then I'll come back and zingo. Hello, Peavy.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Gildersleeve. How can I be of service to you?
Give me a couple of cigars, will you, Peavy? And make it snappy. I'm in a hurry.
Yes, sir. Here they are. Yeah, 50, 75, $1, and I thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Well, how's business, Peavy?
A little quiet, Mr. Gildersleeve. I lay it all to this rationing.
Rationing? But they're not rationing drugs, Peavy.
And that's just the trouble. The ration stuff gets all the publicity.
Oof. I see. Well, got to get going. Oh, got a match, Peavy?
Oh, yes. Always got a lucifer on me somewhere for a good customer. Here.
Thanks. Well, got to be running along.
In a rush, eh? Going to a picture?
No, I'm fixing my automobile, and I've got to get back and finish the job.
Well, it's too bad you're in such a hurry.
I can't help it. Why? What if I wasn't?
Well, I was just thinking, but business being so quiet and all, that maybe you and I could play just one game of Chinese checkers.
Yeah, here? Now?
Yes, sir. It takes about a half an hour. I've got the board here with the hot water bags.
Well, I've got to get back to that car, Peavy. Besides, Chinese checkers is a kid game. There's no skill to it.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
There's nothing to the game, Peavy.
There's more to it than you think, Mr. Gildersleeve. I'll tell you what I'll do. If you beat me, I'll give you a 10-cent soda on the house.
Well, just one game, Peavy, but we'll have to play fast because I'm in a hurry. Hello, Ben. Now, let's get at that car now, huh?
Oh, it's all finished, Mr. Gildersleeve. Just finished a minute ago.
Well, can you beat that? I'm much obliged to you, my boy.
Well, that's okay.
Now we can sit here on the porch and enjoy this spring evening for a while.
Yeah.
Something accomplished, something done to earn a night's repose. Longfellow. Darn rocking chair has a bad squeak. You notice it?
Yes, sir. But I don't know anything about rocking chairs. You didn't happen to see Marjorie on the way to the drugstore, did you?
No, Ben, I didn't. But don't you worry about her. She's probably at the home of one of her girlfriends playing Chinese checkers. She probably wishes she was here right this minute.
Oh, you think so?
No doubt about it. She'll be along soon.
Gee, I guess you must know quite a bit about women, don't you, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Well, I've been around quite a while, my boy. You get so you can figure them out. Tell what a woman's thinking just by looking at her.
Gosh, that must be a neat trick. When I'm with a girl, I can't seem to think at all.
Can't think?
No, I just sit there and sizzle.
Well, that's not the way to captivate a woman, Ben.
It sure isn't. What do you suppose Marjorie's got against me, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Why, that's as simple as ABC, young man. You're not using any finesse.
Any what?
You gotta be smooth, Ben. Look at the men the women go for in pictures. Look at Adolphe Marjou.
Yeah, and look at me.
Well, I'm sorry about your suit, Ben.
Oh, that's all right. Gosh, I couldn't be like Adolphe Marjou anyway. I tried to raise a mustache once.
What was the trouble?
Well, came out pink.
Pink?
Yep. Been shaving pretty close ever since.
Oh, there's a car turning down our street.
Yeah, whose is it?
Oh, it's probably Marie King driving Marjorie home.
Hey, has Marie got a 42 convertible?
No, that's not Marie.
No, it isn't. That's Chet Healy.
Chet Healy? What? Marjorie!
Oh, hello, Uncle Mort. I didn't see you there in the dark. Oh, hello, Ben.
Hello.
Uncle Mort, I want you to meet Chet Healy. I've told you about him.
How do you do?
Well, how are you, Mr. Gildersleeve? Say, who's that with you? Well, if it isn't my new assistant. Hiya, Junior.
Hello.
Hey, we just saw a great picture, and then we had a good look at a wonderful moon. This is a mighty attractive little niece you got there, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, you think so?
Yes, sir. I'd like to be an uncle to her myself. Well, say, Junior, what happened to your Sunday suit? What's the matter? Cat got your tongue?
How would you like a punch in the nose?
Oh, Ben.
Now, don't worry, honey. Nothing's going to happen to me.
That's what you think.
Well, hey, this is quite a spectacle. I'll referee.
There, Mr. Healy, you asked for it. In the future, keep away from my girl.
Oh, Ben, I never thought Well, you're wonderful. Can you ever forgive me?
Well, I don't know. You keep picking on me as if I didn't know what I was doing. You treat me like a child, and I'm sick of it. If you're going to be my girl, you've got to let me say what's what from now on.
Oh, Ben, I will.
Well, that's telling her, Ben. I'm glad to see you're following my advice.
Your advice? Mr. Gildersleeve, you're full of wet hay.
Oh! Leroy, what are you doing up? What are you doing at that window?
Come over here and get a load of this, Unc. You can hear the two lovebirds out on the porch.
Why, Leroy?
Ooh, is that Ben laying it on?
You get away from that window, young man. I'm surprised at you.
What did I do?
Don't you know that eavesdropping is wrong? It's dishonorable to listen in on other people's conversation. Well, never let me catch you doing that again. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Leroy, did he kiss her?
What do you think?
Good night, my boy. Good night, everybody.
Music on this program was under the direction of Claude Sweeten. This is Ken Carpenter speaking for the Kraft Cheese Company and inviting you to listen in again next week for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
Here's a question for homemakers. What delicious, nourishing spread for bread is economical with both red ration stamps and money? The answer? Parquet margarine, the quality spread made by Kraft. Parquet margarine has a delicate, appetizing flavor that is grand with bread and toast and rolls. It's a fine seasoning for hot vegetables, a real flavor shortening for baking. It is especially good for pan frying because it doesn't spatter or stick to the pan. And besides being wonderfully good to eat, Parquet is highly nutritious. In fact, it is one of the best energy foods you can serve. What's more, it is fortified with important vitamin A. So for flavor, for good nutrition, and for all-around economy, ask your dealer for Parquet margarine. If he doesn't have Parquet the first time you ask for it, it's because of wartime shortages and because more and more people are asking for Parquet every day. But Kraft is doing everything possible to keep all dealers supplied. So watch for Parquet, P-A-R-K-A-Y, Parquet margarine made by Kraft. This program has reached you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
now, Fibber, McGee, and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber, McGee, and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. The number of uses for wax has been increasing every year, but it took the war to give greater emphasis to one of them. Do you know that soldiers' uniforms are actually waxed? That's right, strange as it may seem. Uniforms impregnated with a wax emulsion are made water repellent, stain, and dust resistant. They look smarter longer and are easier to launder. The makers of Johnson's Wax have developed a special product for this use called Drax, D-R-A-X. It's used by many textile mills and by many Army laundries, too, because the water repellency of a garment can be maintained by using Drax at the laundry or the dry cleaners. Wouldn't you like to have outdoor clothing, play suits, and other garments, as well as things like drapes and curtains, Drax treated? Well, after the war, you'll be able to. In the meantime, the makers of Johnson's Wax will welcome inquiries from finishing mills and others interested in Drax. Write to S.C. Johnson & Son Incorporated at Racine, Wisconsin, or Branchford, Canada. Well, they say that early to bed and early to rise makes one healthy, wealthy, and wise. Which probably explains why the residents of 79 Wistful Vista are neither too healthy, too rich, nor too smart. Because here it is almost 9 a.m., and just waking up, we find Fibber, McGee, and Molly.
McGee, wake up. It's 9 o'clock. It's broad daylight.
Why does everybody say broad daylight? It's as high as it is wide.
I don't know how you'd know. You never lift your eyes above the coffee pot till 10:30. I wish you were a millionaire, Davy.
That's a dirty wish just before March 15th. Why do you wish I was a millionaire?
Well, so that I could pick up my pearl-handled telephone off my ivory-inlaid night table and call down to the third footman to tell the butler to have my personal maid bring me my breakfast in bed.
Oh. Well, I got bad news for you then.
What?
The third footman is in the Marines. The butler is an investigator for the OPA, and your personal maid is a spot welder out of Douglas. We're all alone in our 52-room bungalow. Hey, where's my slippers?
Probably right where you usually leave them when you go to bed.
Where's that?
One under the dresser and one in the bathroom. Don't tell me you're getting up.
Yes, I'm getting up. And what's more, baby, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring you your breakfast in bed.
What?
You heard me. I'm going to bring you your breakfast in bed.
Well, this is the most realistic dream I ever had. I'm going to hate to wake up.
You think I'm kidding?
Yes. Now hurry and take your shower and call me just...
I'll take my shower later. Where's my bathrobe? Oh, here it is. Now, what do you want for breakfast?
Oh, now, McGee, I was just joking. My goodness, you don't have...
I know I don't have to. But you deserve it. You've been a good kid. Now, what do you want for breakfast?
Well, I might as well make the best of this, I guess. I want some orange juice.
Okay, orange juice.
2 eggs with their bright little eyes gazing heavenward.
2 eggs straight up.
A waffle.
Try one crossword puzzle.
Cup of coffee.
Very well, madame. I shall be very happy. Hey, what you doing?
I'm getting up. You never made a waffle in your life.
I never laid an egg either, but I know how to cook.
Well, I think you're wrong on both counts, dearie. So I'll just get up.
Stay right where you darn are. Now, this is my treat.
But McGee.
And don't Buck McGee me. I know what I'm doing. Just as soon as I brush my teeth, I'll have to...
Molly McGee, you're a lazy, good-for-nothing woman to let him do this. Yes, I know, but it's good for his character. Teaches him to be unselfish. But he'll have your whole kitchen in a mess. Well, if he does, he'll clean it up. No, you can't let him do that. Oh, I can't I? You just wait and see.
Well, here we go. Orange juice, eggs, coffee, and waffle. Squeeze one, fry two, make with a mocha, and cook a blotter with a reef clean. Patsy. I'll see you later. Oh, looky. Here comes Cookie marching down the street. Oh, looky, look, there's some. Oh, now, let me see. Orange juice. Where do you suppose Molly keeps the oranges? Hey, Molly.
Yes, McGee?
Where's the oranges?
In the bowl on the windowsill.
I see them.
What?
I see them.
Then why don't you ask me where they were?
Huh?
What?
Never mind. You go to sleep. Here they are. Oh, looky. Here comes Cookie. Tough oranges. Guess I'll have to cut them in two. I better make my waffle batter first. Now, where's the cookbook? Cookbook. Hey, Molly!
Yeah?
Where's the cookbook? Much obliged. Now, you go to sleep. Have a nice nap. Oh, looky. Here comes the... Now, what's he say? Oh, here we are. How to Set a Fine Table by Henrietta Lewis. Okay, Henrietta, give out with the dope on the waffles. Waffles. Oh, here we are. Golden brown waffles with fresh maple syrup or strawberry jam are not only pleasing to the palate, but tempting to the eye. There they are. Uh-oh. Hey, Molly!
Now what, McGee?
On your waffles, you want syrup or strawberry jam?
Syrup, strawberry jam, and fattening.
Okay, now you go to sleep. Oh, looky. Here it comes now. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Recipe for waffles. 2 cups of sifted cake or pastry flour. 2 cups. How do you sift a cake? Hey, Molly!
Oh, yes, McGee.
We got any cake?
No, what do you want it for?
Just wanted to sift it. Never mind, I'll use pastry flour. You go get some rest. I'll handle it. Oh, looky. Here comes the game. 4 teaspoons of tartrate or phosphate. That'd be a doggone chemist to mix a waffle with. Usually means baking soda. Soda's better anyway. Saves taking it afterwards. Hello. Who? Geraldine. Who's calling? Pete. Oh, well, look, Pete, Geraldine don't want any more to do with you, see? She wants you to get out of her life. Yeah. She says if you called her again to tell you to go fry a fig. Goodbye. Hey, Molly.
Now what, McGee?
Don't worry about the telephone, just the wrong number. Just relax and get some shut-eye.
All right, dear.
Oh, looky. Here comes a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. That's easy. I'll put in a dash of pepper, too. 6 tablespoons of melted shortening. What's shortening? Hey! Oh, now use your head, McGee. Shorten is to make smaller. To make smaller is to shrink. To shrink is... Aha! Water. 1 1/4 cup of milk. That's a cinch. And 2 eggs. Okie dokie, 2 eggs and some milk. Hey, wait a minute. Separate the eggs and beat the yolks until light. Beat them until light. That's silly. It's light now. Oh, great. Where's the eggs? In the refrigerator. 2 eggs and a bottle of milk. Aha, buttermilk. There you go. Richard. Oh, looky. Here it comes. No, I guess not. I got thrown, that's all.
Thrown? How?
I shut the refrigerator door on the tassel of my bathrobe, started to walk away, and boom, flat on the hen fruit. You go on back to bed. You have a nice sleep while I finish getting your breakfast. look, Molly, why don't you go back to bed? How can I give you your breakfast in bed when you're down here on the sofa?
Well, I got tired of hollering down the stairs.
Well.
I'll go back to bed when you have breakfast ready.
Okay. Boy, these are going to be the best waffles you ever flung a fang into, Molly. Uh-oh. That's the baguette, the mail woman. Come in.
Well, Mr. McGee. Hello, Mrs. McGee.
Good morning.
Well, what you got for us this morning, sis? And excuse the bathrobe.
I just have a postcard for you, Mr. McGee. Do you mind if I give it to you tomorrow? It's clear down in the bottom of the bag.
Oh, that's okay, sis, but I'd kind of like to know who it's from.
It's from somebody named Aunt Sarah, and it's just wishing you a happy George Washington's birthday.
Good old Aunt Sarah, bless her heart.
Yeah, good old Aunt Sarah, darn her hide. Forgets we're alive on Christmas and then wishes us a happy George Washington's birthday. And she's worth $90,000. That old skinflint has pinched pennies so long her fingerprints look like Indian heads.
Now, McGee, don't talk like that. Aunt Sarah worships the ground you walk on.
Sure she does. That's real estate. The minute I get in the house, she hates me.
Well, I'll be sure and give it to you tomorrow or the next day, Mr. McGee.
Oh, it's no hurry, sis. Just stick it in the mail for me.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm giving you your eggs first, Molly. They're cooking now. These waffles will take a little longer.
Say, let me see that waffle batter.
Okay. Smoothing out nice, ain't it?
Still looks pretty lumpy to me.
That's the tuna fish.
Tuna fish?
Sure. The recipe says waffles are delicious with ice cream, fruits, cream meat, salmon, or tuna fish. All we had was tuna fish.
McGee, that meant to put over the waffles when they were served.
All over them or inside of them, what's the difference? Now, you quit worrying and get a nice rest. I'll handle this. Come in.
Hello there, Johnny. Hello, Doc. Hey, you sick, daughter?
Oh, no, Mr. Oldtimer. I just felt lazy this morning, and McGee is fixing breakfast for me, he says.
You'll have to excuse the bathrobe, Oldtimer. Didn't take time to get dressed.
That's okay, Johnny. I always liked that bathrobe. Mighty pretty shade of heliotrope. I can get one of those from honeymoon.
Say, when are you and Bessie going to name the day?
Ain't decided, daughter. Can't do it till Bessie's brother gets out of jail anyway. He's going to be the next best man.
You mean the best man?
No, Johnny, that's what he said, too, and we fought it out one night. I'm the best man.
But what is he in jail for?
Well, it happened when we was rehearsing the wedding, daughter. It was an accident, pure and simple. There was Bessie, looking so pure, and there was her brother, looking so simple.
What happened, doggone it?
Well, it's going to be a military wedding, see?
Yeah.
The minute the captain says, I pronounce you man and wife...
What captain?
Old tugboat captain. Friend of mine, daughter. He's going to perform the ceremony. Captains can do it, too, you know.
No, not unless they're at sea, they can't.
This one is, believe me, kid. Anyway, Cornwell, that's Bessie's brother, Cornwell was going to fire a volley into the air, see? But the bullet cut trolley wire, stopped traffic on 14th Street, wire come down, burned up a couple of automobiles.
Yeah.
These upper plates are killing me tonight. Cornwell got prepared the gun without a license. Shooting off inside the city limits, disturbing the peace, arson, inciting a riot, blocking traffic, willful destruction of property, and impersonating an officer.
Impersonating what officer?
General Grant. Cornwell's got a little beard, see? Good image of Grant.
You're still going to go on with your plans, then?
Bet we are, Johnny. Bessie's father gave us a shower party last night. Chartered the whole Empire room at the bus depot. This was one of the... Hey, I smell something burning.
Oh, my God. My egg.
Say, do you have to hurry away, Mr. Oldtimer?
Yes, I have, brother. Gotta go down to the haberdashery and learn to tie one of them silly apricot ties. They're one at the wedding.
Not apricot, you mean ascot.
That's it. One of them silly ascot ties. Whoa.
Sorry about them eggs, Molly, but don't worry, the next ones will be okay.
Oh, I think I can get along without the eggs, McGee. I can get along without the waffles, too, unless you mix up another batch. That tuna fish mixture doesn't appeal to me somehow. Maybe I'm just fussy, though.
Well, this is your day, baby. You can be as fussy if you want to. I'll mix up another batch right away. Oh, boy, this is smoothing out awful good. You sure you don't want to tie him?
I'm positive. Have you got any...
Hello, folks. Well, what's this? Are you ill, Molly?
No, Mr. Wilcox. I'm just lying down waiting for Oscar the Waldorf here. He's giving me my breakfast in bed.
Good for him.
Well, she deserves it, Junior. She's been a good kid. You ever give your wife breakfast in bed?
No, but I've only been married 3 years. She's a sweet girl, and I don't want to spoil her. What are you beating to death in that crock, pal?
He's making some waffles, Mr. Wilcox.
Waffles? Where did he learn to cook?
Oh, he just picked it up. And I can hardly wait till he sets it down again.
I learned how to cook in the Army, Wilcox. I was company cook for 6 weeks.
Officers' mess?
Some of them did, but most of them are pretty new. Don't you cook?
No, I don't. And you'd think with what I know about housekeeping in general, I'd be a natural for it.
Not necessarily, Mr. Wilcox. I know lots of women who can cook lovely pastry but can't make a bed or iron a shirt to save their lives.
It's a specialty, I suppose, like being an expert on preserving floors and furniture and woodwork.
Gee, I wish you'd tell us something about your work. Just how do you go about preserving floors, furniture, and woodwork?
Oh, you're kidding me. You know.
We'd love to hear it again, though, wouldn't we, dearie?
We really would, Junior. You know how kids never get tired of hearing about the three bears? Well, I'm like that about preserving floors, furniture, and woodwork. Just what product would you recommend for that?
Oh, this is just a rib.
Mr. Wilcox, how can you say that? Tell us, please, is it Johnson's wax?
Oh, cut it out. You know it's Johnson's wax.
Well, we're mighty pleased that you recommend it, Junior. They tell me Johnson's wax not only beautifies and protects all wood and enamel surfaces, but is mighty handy to keep dampness and dirt out of windowsills, lampshades, luggage, and all stuff like that there. Is that there true?
Say, what is this? Of course it's true.
Oh, McGee, it's true. Every word of it. He said it was true.
Ain't that marvelous? You know, Junior, I don't like to pry into commercial secrets or anything, but I've heard a rumor of how these things fly around. I've heard that using Johnson's wax is almost as much of a health measure as getting your vitamins, because it keeps the house so sanitary and makes housework so simple and easy. Can you confirm that rumor?
Look, I don't know exactly what's going on here, but I want... Hey, I smell something burning.
Oh, my gosh, it's my eggs again.
They want to stay and have a touch of soul main with us, Mr. Wilcox?
No, thanks, Molly. Say, you wouldn't care to sneak upstairs, get dressed fast, and let me take you out for breakfast.
Well, it's the best offer I've had today, but I can't do it. McGee's got his heart set on this project, and I don't want to let him down.
Okay, but while you're eating your scorched eggs, leather waffles, and battery acid coffee, just picture me sitting in a nice, cozy restaurant, tucking away a beautiful, fluffy omelet with a...
Go away, you nasty man.
Okay, but you had your chance.
What are you doing?
I put some more eggs on and I'm mixing up a fresh batch of waffles. Wilcox gone?
Yes, he invited me out to breakfast, too.
Snake in the grass. You don't think I can cook? Well, this batch of waffles is going to be quite terrific. But I gotta let the batter set a while. Gotta go up and get dressed. I'm going out for about a quarter of an hour.
What for?
The cookbook recommends it.
What do you mean?
Well, the instruction says when the waffle batter is mixed, beat it for about 15 minutes.
Oh, dear, come in. Oh, hello, Abigail, darling. This is a surprise.
Hi, I've been by my bathrobe.
I can't quite find it, Mr. McGee, but I shall give it a brief parole.
Well, personally, I always like this bathrobe, and I don't want to hear any snide comments about it.
Oh, now, McGee.
And why should I comment about your bathrobe, Mr. McGee? This is a free country, and if you choose to wear a horrible, sort of nightmare like that fits like an old slipcover with sleeves, it's really not my affair. But it does look like it was designed by a real brother. But it does make you look like something abandoned in the baggage room of a haunted railway station. And what if the collar does fit like it was made for a man who had two heads? But it does resemble a low swell papoose in the back. And if it makes you look like a drunken zombie coming home from a Charleston concert, it is no business of mine. I don't even have to look at it if I don't want to, and I don't want to. So why should I comment on it?
Boy, for a minute there, Uppy, I thought you were going to start cracking wise.
I didn't come over care to discuss your attire, Miss McGee. Oh, my dear Timber, are you ill?
No, just lazy, Abigail. McGee's going to give me my breakfast in bed.
Oh, how splendid. Well, I just wanted to tell you, my dear, that I... Oh, for heaven's sake, burning.
Oh, my gosh, my eggs again.
And Rosie the Riveter. Factory wheels are grinding everywhere. Rattle, rattle, rattle through the land. The lady who was yesterday so fair now has the riveter in her hand. All the day long, whether rain or shine, she's a part of the assembly line. She's making history, working for victory. Rosie the Riveter keeps her eye open for sabotage, sitting up there on the fuselage. That little frail can do more than a male can do. Rosie the Riveter. Rosie has a boyfriend, Charlie. Charlie, he's a Marine. Rosie is protecting Charlie, working overtime on a riveting machine. When they gave her a production E, she was as proud as a girl could be. There's something true about red, white, and blue about Rosie the Riveter. Rosie really keeps them on the go. She can build a bomber in a day. Every time you hear the whistle blow, she sends another one on its way. Everyone stops to admire the scene. Rosie at work on a P016. She's never jittery, nervous, or twittery. Rosie the Riveter. Water she's smeared full of oil and grease, doing her bit for the old and leaf. She keeps the gang around, they love to hang around. Rosie the Riveter. Rosie buys a lot of war bonds. That girl really has sense. Wish she could buy some more bonds, putting all her cash into national defense. Senator Jones, who was in the know, shouted these words on the radio. Berlin will hear about Moscow will hear about Rosie the Riveter.
Look. Well, it won't be long now, Molly. Waffle iron's getting hot. You getting pretty hungry?
No, don't hurry on my account.
Okay.
I don't know which is worse anyway, being starved or being poisoned. Say, who are you talking to out in the kitchen?
Huh? Just the milkman.
Oh.
Don't worry about being poisoned either. This is going to be the best breakfast you ever roofed your lip over.
I hope so.
I'm going to heat the oven so I can keep the extra waffles warm for you. You got a match?
No, dearie. I rarely carry matches in my dressing gown. Would a blowtorch do? I usually have one of those with me in case I want to warm up my cold cream. Maybe I'm just irritable on account of malnutrition.
Well, cheer up, Snooky. Breakfast will be ready just as soon as I can get...
Oh, fine. One more delay and I'll slip into a turban and join Mahatma Gandhi.
Whoever it is, I'll get rid of them quick. Come in.
Hello, Mr. McGee. Hello, Mrs. McGee.
Hi, Wimp, old man. You got a match?
No, but I have a cigarette lighter.
Oh, fine. Let me take it.
It won't light.
Out of fluid, Mr. Wimple?
No. Stevie Face took the flint out of it, Mrs. McGee. She said if my lighter worked, I might learn to smoke. If I learn to smoke, I might learn to swear. If I learn to swear, I might swear at her sometime. And if I ever did, she'd take my several words censored here. She'd sound my words censored here. Plate.
Well, excuse me, Wimp. I got to get Molly's breakfast. Everything ought to be about ready.
He's giving me my breakfast in bed, Mr. Wimple.
Isn't that nice? Mm-hmm. I gave Stevie Face her breakfast in bed once.
You did? She enjoy it?
Well, no. She accused me of putting ground grass in her oatmeal.
How ridiculous.
Oh, I don't know.
Say, I'll bet She was pretty sore about that, wasn't she, Mr. Wimple?
Well, I don't know, Mrs. McGee. She was terribly hurt about it. So was I when she caught me.
Pardon my morbid curiosity, but what'd she do?
She just shook me and let me go. The doctor said he'd never seen two legs broken in so many places.
I thought you said she just shook you and let you go.
She did. She was holding me out the upstairs window when she shook me.
Looky, here comes Cookie and the upstairs too. Well, here you are, Molly. Breakfast is all served. Pull that table over here, Wimp, old man, so I can put this tray on it. Yeah.
Why, McGee, this is beautiful. Look at those waffles.
Yeah.
Oh, and does that coffee smell good? Where did you ever learn to fold a napkin like that?
Oh, shucks. That's nothing. Ought to see me put pants on a lamb chop. Have some breakfast, Wimp?
I believe I will, Mr. McGee. My, this looks good.
Oh, dear. Well, I never would have believed it.
Yeah, how'd she like the breakfast, boy?
Hey, get out of here.
Who are you?
Yeah, I'm the A1 catering service. I forgot to leave my card. Here you is, A1 catering service. Call us again anytime you're in trouble, boss.
Clean and at the right temperature is an important part of housekeeping here in America and Canada. Women in most other parts of the world envious these handsome white refrigerators that stand in our kitchens. I don't need to tell you that it's wise to take extra good care of your refrigerator right now. But let me read you a short letter that just came in. Here it is. I have found a new use for Johnson's Cream Wax. After polishing my furniture till it glowed, I happened to put the cloth on top of the refrigerator. Surprise of surprises, when I saw a bit of dirt there, I whisked the cloth across it and discovered that the marks which I previously hadn't been able to remove came off like magic. A new use and an enormous help I have found this old-time friend. You just can't imagine how my refrigerator sparkles all over. Thank you for making my cleaning easier and my house brighter.
Did call in the caterer, McGee. This was a beautiful breakfast.
No, I don't know. I thought the waffles were kind of soft.
You did?
Yeah. You know what I'm going to do? As soon as I get the dishes washed, I'm going to mix you up a real...
Oh, no, not that.
Huh? Oh, okay. Good night.
Good night, all.
Characters of the old-timer and Wallace Winkle heard on this program were played by Bill Thompson. This is Holly Wilcox speaking for the makers of Johnson's Wax Finishes for Home and Industry, inviting you to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night. This program has reached you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Kraft presents The Great Gildersleeve. The Kraft Cheese Company, who also bring you Bing Crosby every Thursday night, present each week at this time Harold Perry as The Great Gildersleeve, written by John Wheaton and Sam Moore. We'll hear from the Great Gildersleeve in just a moment. But first, with food shoppers everywhere thinking in terms of ration stamps as well as money, let me suggest a way to economize with both. Yes, and supply mealtime variety that'll really make your family sit up and take notice. Here's the secret. The next time you plan a shopping trip, include on your list Pabst-Ett, the delicious, nourishing cheese food. For just 3 red ration points and surprisingly few pennies, you buy a generous package of cheese goodness that's a real help in preparing wartime meals. The tantalizing cheddar cheese flavor of Pabst-Ett is grand with economical rice or macaroni dishes, and Pabst-Ett toasts and slices to perfection. Or you can melt it to a smooth golden cheese sauce that does wonders with leftovers of meat or fish or vegetables. Fabstet is a fine source of important milk nutrients, too. Milk protein, milk minerals, food energy, vitamin A, and vitamin G that's also called riboflavin. So remember the name, Fabstet, the economical red stamp value. In the diary of Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve, a monumental work as yet unpublished, we find in the Spencerian hand of the great man himself this entry.
Dear Diary, today I made a vow. I'll never speak to Judge Horace Hooker again. As long as I live, I'll never speak to him. Even if he comes crawling to me on his hands and knees, I'll never speak to him. Even on my deathbed. There are some things a man cannot forgive a friend, and one of them is stabbing him in the back when he isn't looking.
And thereby hangs a tale. It was on the morning of Friday, April 9th. The time, 8:30. Thank you. Our friend Gildersleeve was glancing through the paper while awaiting the arrival of Judge Hooker, with whom he was to share a ride to the office.
Uncle Mort, if you have to be at the office by 9, you better get going.
Oh, my goodness. Is that clock right?
As far as I know.
Bertie, call up and find out what time it is, will you?
Yes, sir.
They won't give you the time anymore, Uncle Mort.
Well, I'd like to know why not.
Must be a military secret.
Then, by George, you can call them up and tell them they can come and take their phone out of here.
Oh, Uncle Mort, cool off.
I mean it. Tell them to take it out today. I don't want it around.
Yes, sir.
Can't give us the time. What good is a telephone if you can't? Leroy, turn on the radio. See if you can get a time signal.
Okay, Uncle.
Not a clock in the whole house you can depend on. Can't depend on clocks. Can't depend on the phone company. Can't depend on the judge. Ye gods, and I have to be at the mayor's office at 9 o'clock. Oh, Leroy! Turn off that radio.
But you told me to turn it on.
What is this, a madhouse?
Are you asking me?
Yes. Never mind. I can't wait for the judge any longer. I'll just have to take my own car.
If you're in a hurry, Uncle, I'll back it out for you.
You'll do nothing of the kind. You can go and open the garage for me, though.
Okay. Got the key?
Keys? Where are they? If Judge Hooker's got my keys now...
Judge Hooker hasn't got your keys.
Bertie, have you seen my... Oh, somebody put them in my pocket.
Probably the brownies.
Yes. And don't be fresh. Here. Now my coat.
Mr. Gildersleeve, what about that coffee? It's about ready.
I'm sorry, I haven't got time for it now.
Better take an umbrella, Uncle Mort. Looks like rain.
I haven't got time for rain.
Mr. Gildersleeve, we can't throw out coffee. You like coffee jelly?
Don't bother me now about coffee jelly. I have to see the mayor. Oh, where's Leroy?
He went out to the garage.
If Judge Hooker turns up, don't forget to tell him.
Tell him what?
What did you say?
What shall I tell him?
Don't ask me. I'm late already.
Oh, this is going to be one of his bad days.
Oh, Bertie!
Yes, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Be sure and have whipped cream on it.
Whipped cream on what?
The coffee jelly.
You want me to stop the car, Uncle? I'll warm it up for you.
No.
I thought you were in a hurry.
I am in a hurry. Now, don't keep asking me that. I don't want you fooling around with the car. You'll wreck it.
How's the ignition?
Stick in your shirt tail, Leroy.
It is in.
Well, get off the running board.
Okay. Give it a little choke, Doc.
Out of the way, Leroy. This is Friday, young man. Don't forget the ash can.
I can't hear you.
I said don't forget the ash can.
Oh, watch out.
Oh! Hey! Where do you think you're... Hooker.
Gildersleeve.
This is a fine time to show up.
What's the idea of backing into me?
Who backed into you? It's a wonder some people wouldn't look where they're going.
I had the right of way. I was coming...
It's my driveway, isn't it?
Oh, it's not your street.
Uncle, you all right?
I'm all right, but look at that rear fender.
Yeah, look at my bumper. How'd I know you were coming out of there?
Are you deaf? I blew my horn.
Yeah, after you crashed into me.
Leroy, didn't I blow my horn? You saw it happen.
Yes, you saw it happen, Leroy. He backed into me, didn't he?
Backed into him. He was going a good 40 miles an hour in a residential district with children all around and inadequate brakes. You saw it, didn't you, Leroy?
Sorry, I didn't see a thing.
Leroy!
Honest, I was tying my shoes.
Your shoes are untied right now, both of them.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yes.
Oh, my land, what happened, Judge? You all right?
Is he all right? What about me?
I had a narrow escape, Bertie, but fate spared me this time. By the way, you witnessed the crime, didn't you?
Crime?
Well, all I know is I was looking out the kitchen window.
Good. Now tell me if this isn't the way it happened. I was coming down the street, well over to the right, looking in both directions and going not over 8 or 9 miles an hour, when this wild man came charging up.
Bertie, don't you get mixed up in this. You go into the house.
Yes, sir. You can't do that, Gildersleeve. She's my witness.
Well, she's my cook.
By golly, if I have to, I'll subpoena her.
Oh, you hear that, Bertie? He's going to subpoena you.
That's all, brother. This is getting too hot here for me.
Gildersleeve, I charge you with intimidating a witness.
You intimidated her, you and your subpoenas. You go racing around town in that juggernaut of yours, that death car, that Rio.
Just a minute, Gildersleeve.
What's your license number, Hooker?
You can read, can't you? It's right there on the plate.
Write it down, Leroy, before he gets away. By George, I'll see my lawyer about this.
Go right ahead. I'm your lawyer. And I can tell you haven't got a leg to stand on.
No? Well, I haven't got a lawyer either. I just fired him. Listen to that fender. It's hanging by a thread.
What are we stopping here for, huh?
I've got to see a man about my insurance.
See Harvey Diggs, real estate and insurance.
I want to show him the damage while it's fresh.
See Harvey Diggs. Is he kidding?
Just pop out, Leroy. You better run for it. He'll be late to school.
Okay. So long, Uncle.
Goodbye, and watch out for cars. You never know what maniac will be driving these days.
Mr. Gildersleeve. Well, come in.
Hello, Diggs.
I heard you and Judge Hooker had a little run-in this morning.
How did you hear that? It didn't happen 20 minutes ago.
Oh, news travels in this town, you know. Glad there wasn't any damage.
No damage. You ought to see my automobile. Whole rear fender smashed to a pulp.
Well, these little things will happen. That's why we have insurance companies. Sit down.
I can't. I've got to see the mayor, Diggs. Say, you know that policy you sold me?
On your automobile, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Well, I have...
You know, I've always been sorry I couldn't interest you in that little life insurance plan I drew up for you.
Life insurance?
I'd like to see you have that protection, Gildersleeve.
Right now, I'm interested in the automobile.
I know, it's only human. We keep putting it off. But it's something we all have to face sooner or later. Now, only the other day I had a man come to me. He happened to be a very important executive here in town. You'd know him at once if I were to tell you his name. I'd been after that man for 5 years. And only the other day he said to me, Diggs, he said, I don't know how to thank you for what you've done for me.
Good. I'm glad he's taken care of. Now let's talk about me. I have this policy
on
my...
just what I was getting to. Now, that's a very fine policy you've got there, as far as it goes. But it doesn't go far enough.
You sold it to me?
Mr. Gildersleeve, I'm going to ask you a question. Have you ever considered what would become of your loved ones in the event that you were suddenly to pass on?
Mr. Diggs, I'm going to give you an answer. I'm likely to pass on right now to the next insurance man if you won't listen to me.
Huh?
All I'm interested in is collecting on the policy I've got.
Well, you're the doctor, Mr. Gildersleeve. Yes, sir, that's what we're here for, to service our customers.
Good. I've got the policy right here. I can't make head or tails out of it.
Well, now, we'll just have a look. Now, let's see. Bodily injury, property damage, collision or upset, comprehensive.
What does it say?
Mr. Gildersleeve, that's a very fine piece of protection you've got there. My advice to you would be to hold on to it.
What do you mean?
Providential Mutual Fire and Loss, that's one of the biggest insurance companies in the state of Rhode Island.
And Rhode Island is one of the smallest states in the Union.
Well, we can't always judge by size, you know. The Providential Mutual has been serving the public now for 48 years. I had the pleasure of visiting the home office back there in 1923. In fact, I had the pleasure of dining with one of the vice presidents. Oh, he has a lovely home there, just outside of Providence.
Well, I'm glad he's living well. You didn't happen to ask him about that busted rear fender on my automobile.
Fender?
Yes, I had a little accident this morning, remember? I ran into Judge Hooker. Hooker ran into me. Smashed my fender. I'd like to collect.
Mr. Gildersleeve, that's one thing I'll say for the Providential Mutual. They settled promptly.
Good.
No argument, no waiting around. They pay up.
Great.
However, the type of policy you have here doesn't happen to cover this particular type of accident.
What?
Now, don't misunderstand me. It's a very fine policy and it has some very fine features. But for this kind of coverage, I'd suggest a different type of policy. Now, if
Diggs, tell me something. Do you carry insurance?
Why, of course. I wouldn't be without it.
Well, I hope it covers a punch in the nose. your allowance Monday, Leroy, in advance.
I know. I'm just offering to hang up your coat.
Yeah, there's something more to this.
How did it go today, Uncle Mort? Oh, like that?
Yeah, like that. Get this machine gun out of here, Leroy. A man can't even sit down in his own chair.
Sorry, Unc. How did you come out on the insurance?
Oh, dandy.
What do you mean?
Well, it seems I have a policy but no insurance. If I want to collect, I'll have to collect from Hooker. And if Hooker wanted to sue me, I wouldn't have an ounce of protection.
Oh, he wouldn't sue you. He's a friend of yours.
He was a friend of mine.
That old gink would sue his own mother. Leroy.
I'm inclined to believe you're right, my boy.
I don't think you ought to talk that way about Judge Hooker. You ought to hear what he says about you.
Yes.
Hey, Marge, when's dinner? I'm starved. I don't know. You'll have to ask Bertie. But I'm dying. Well, go outside and die. Uncle Mort, I think you and the judge are acting like a couple of schoolboys.
Huh?
You had a little accident, and you were both in the wrong. Now, why don't you admit it?
Who was in the wrong? I was backing out of my own driveway, watching very carefully, and the first thing I know...
Hey, come here.
What do you want?
Come with me. Out to the kitchen.
Huh? What for, Leroy? What's up?
Never mind. Just be quiet.
What's all the mystery about?
No. Don't open the door. Just listen.
Young man, I've told you what I thought of eavesdropping. I told you I never...
Now, Bertie, you said you were looking out the kitchen window at the time the accident occurred.
Hooker.
No, Judge, I didn't say that. That is not exactly.
Now, Bertie, remember, nothing you say here is going to be used against you.
Yeah, not against her, maybe.
Well, I don't know if I ought to say anything, Judge. Mr. Gildersleeve might not like it.
Well, don't you worry about Mr. Gildersleeve, Bertie. If he has anything to say, you always know where you can get a job.
Oh! Well, Hooker, if there's anything lower than a man who would run down a friend when he wasn't looking, it's a man who would sneak in his back door and steal his cook.
I have not been sneaking in any back doors.
Oh, no?
No. I merely happened to be taking a shortcut across the lot here.
And dropped in for a handout, I suppose. Bertie.
I didn't want to say nothing, Mr. Gildersleeve, honest.
I'm not blaming you, Bertie.
I just didn't want no hoppers coppers, that's all.
It just happens, Gildersleeve, that Bertie is a legal witness, and I have a legal right to question her.
Well, you go take a legal walk for yourself. You're trespassing on private property here, Judge. I'll have you charged with breaking and entering, as well as coaching a witness.
Don't quote the law at me, my friend.
Don't you call me your friend. As far as I'm concerned, I'll never speak to you again. And kindly have the decency not to address me. Now get out of here.
I shall be delighted.
And put back that cupcake.
The Great Gildersleeve will be with us again in a few seconds. Meanwhile, here's a tip for homemakers. The way to spend red ration stamps to best advantage is to plan family meals several days in advance, using a list of point values as your guide. That way you can make sure that meals are good tasting and well balanced and provide the variety your family likes. And as you plan, be sure to include quality foods like Tabstead, the delicious cheese food that's good in such a wide variety of ways. You'll find that Tabstead is a grand help for your wartime budget because it costs only a few cents and just 3 red ration points per package. And whether you melt or toast or slice it, the whole family will go for its grand cheddar cheese flavor. What's more, Tabstead's a fine source of important milk nutrients and is highly digestible. Now, your dealer may not have Tabstead the very first time you try to buy it because so much cheese and other dairy foods are going to war. But everything is being done to keep dealers supplied. So ask for Pabstet, Pabst-ETT, Pabstet, the delicious, nourishing cheese food. Now let's get back to the Great Gildersleeve. About 24 hours have passed since his epic crash with Judge Hooker, so we find him once more about to set out for the office. A trifle earlier than usual, though, since he knows that today he'll have to walk to work.
Is there any more oatmeal, Bertie?
I'm sorry, Mr. Gildersleeve, but we is oatless.
Some more toast then, I guess. Or are we breadless?
No, sir, not quite.
Leroy.
Yeah?
Finish your oatmeal.
Oh, gee, you're hungry, so I gotta eat.
I'm not hungry. I simply wish to store up energy.
Well, gosh, I don't have to walk to the city hall.
That will do, young man. Answer that, please, and stick your shirt tail in.
Okay. Yoo-hoo, Throckmorton. It's your girl, Unc.
My fiancée, young man. In here, Leela.
Oh, Throckmorton, you poor darling. Are you all right?
What am I? What?
Well, I heard about your accident. Oh, my poor baby, my precious lamb.
Well,
Oh, for for corn's sake.
Go away.
You told me to finish my oatmeal.
Never mind your oatmeal. Go to school.
It's Saturday.
Then just get out of here. Scat.
Okay. Throckmorton, are you sure you're all safe and sound?
Of course I'm safe and sound.
Oh, but it must have been such a frightful crash. Judge Hooker says...
Judge Hooker?
Yes. He says you were going 40 miles an hour.
Leela, I was going backwards.
Oh, that's what makes it so hideous.
Leela, did Judge Hooker tell you this?
No, Throckmorton. He told Sarah Pettibone, and Sarah told me.
What else did she say that he said, the big faker?
Well, just that you wrecked his car completely and that he was lucky to live to tell the tale.
Leela, he almost wrecked my car. He was tearing down the street like he was drunk or crazy. What's more, it never even scratched him.
Oh, well, I imagine Sarah got it mixed up. I'm glad you're feeling all right anyhow, Throckmorton.
Well, I'm glad you're glad, Leela. Hooker's going to pay me damages, too. He'll pay me if I have to sue him.
Well, will they cost quite a bit, Throckmorton?
Well, so far, only $2 for my fender. But I imagine there'll be internal injuries.
There always are. Well, you take good care of yourself now, Throckmorton, because I want you to do something for me this evening.
What is it, Leela?
Well, I want you to come to a meeting of my Red Cross committee tonight.
Red Cross committee? Mm-hmm. I can't roll bandages. I can't even roll a cigarette.
Oh, no, silly. This is to raise money.
Oh, well, I can't say no to that, can I? What time?
Well, I told everybody 8 o'clock, but I think it would be nice if you came over a little early. Could you?
For you, I could.
Oh, you cute boy, you.
Now, wait a minute, Leela. Hooker isn't on this committee, is he? If he's on it, I won't have anything to do with it.
Oh, of course, Throckmorton. I mean, of course not. Oh, well, I've got to be getting back to my housework.
Oh, my goodness. I've got to get down to the office.
Yes, dear. Oh, I'm glad nothing happened to my precious fiancé. Goodbye, darling. I'll see you this evening.
Goodbye, Leela. Got to get going. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bertie.
Here's your toast, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, thank you, Bertie. Why, this toast is cold.
Well, sir, I didn't want to interrupt anything.
There's nothing to interrupt. Bertie, we might have supper a little early this evening, so I'll be able to finish by 7.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, then I'll have time to...
Hey, come to the window, quick.
The window? What's the matter, Leroy?
Wait till you see what's going past the house. Here, out this window.
This better be good, young man, or I won't like it.
Good, but you won't like it.
Yes,
There.
I can't believe it.
What is it, Miss Gildersleeve?
Judge Hooker on crutches.
My goodness. What's the matter with him? He didn't have no crutches last night.
Of course not. He's just faking.
Well, gosh, Unc, if he isn't hurt, what's the idea of the crutches?
Oh, he wants to impress his lawyer. He wants to impress everybody. Well, if that's his game, I can do better than that.
How? What you going to do, Unc?
I'm going down to Peavy's drugstore and get me a wheelchair.
Well, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, hello. Hello, Peavy.
You weren't in yesterday.
Yes, I've been pretty busy. Lawsuits and whatnot. Say, Peavy, you rent crutches, don't you?
Yes, I do maintain a pair of crutches here.
That's what I thought. Well,
more as a service to my customers than anything else. Not much profit in it.
I suppose not. Well,
most of the time, they just lie there in the back room eating up their overhead.
Well, what I wanted to know...
Every time I go to make up a prescription, I fall over them. Very annoying.
I can imagine. Very monotonous, too. What I wanted to ask you...
I'm thinking of giving them up altogether.
I wish you would. I wish you'd forget them, too. What I want to know is, Peavy, did you rent those crutches to Judge Hooker?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I did. Just this morning.
I knew it. Now tell me, Peavy, just between you and me, when Judge Hooker came in here for him, was he limping?
Well, I wouldn't say he was limping exactly, no.
Good. In other words, you're prepared to testify that up to the time he rented those crutches, he appeared to be in just as good shape as you or I.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
Well, as good shape as you, anyway.
Well,
I mean, no limp or anything, just his normal slouch. You'll testify to that, won't you, Peavy?
I don't know that I'd care to testify to anything.
Now, don't get scared, Peavy. I'm not going to drag you into court. I'm just trying to line up a few facts and witnesses, just in case.
I know, but a man can't be too careful, Mr. Gildersleeve. Circumstantial evidence, you know.
What's circumstantial about it?
Well, take yourself. Now, you'd say you were in good health, wouldn't you?
Never better.
You look well, too.
Thank you.
But do we know, Mr. Gildersleeve? Do we know?
What do you mean?
You might drop dead any minute.
What?
It's a fact. I had a man come in here one day perfectly well. Just felt a little funny, that's all. And all of a sudden, he dropped dead right where you're standing. Oh, don't move. It was just a heart attack.
Oh, just a little heart attack, eh? Peavy, will you tell me what all this has got to do with whether Hooker needs crutches or not? That's what I'm trying to find out.
I'm afraid I couldn't express an opinion on that. Professional ethics, you know. After all, I'm a pharmacist.
I'm not asking your opinion as a pharmacist. I'm asking your opinion as a crutch renter.
Well, I will say this, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes?
Crutches never hurt anybody.
Yes. Oh, Peavy, you make me tired. Why don't you ever give anybody a straight answer? All you can say is, well, now, I wouldn't say that.
Well, now, I wouldn't say that.
Goodbye!
Throckmorton. I'm glad you got here early.
Yeah, so am I. You look beautiful in that dress, Leela.
Oh, do I?
Yeah, much too good for a committee meeting. Couldn't we go out?
No, Throckmorton. I've got things to do before the others get here.
Yeah, so I.
Throckmorton.
Oh, please, Leela. Just one little kiss. For the Red Cross?
Well, just one.
What's that? You told me the others weren't coming till 8 o'clock. I thought I'd have a chance to... Well, I thought I'd have it... Who the devil is it anyway?
Well, Judge Hook always knocks like that.
Hooker? I thought you said he wasn't coming.
Well, no, I didn't, Throckmorton. I said he wasn't on the committee.
Well, what's the idea of him hanging around here with secret knocks on my fiancé's door? By George, if I lay my hands on him...
Throckmorton, please, go in the dining room and wait. I'll think of some excuse to send him home.
Well, all right. But make it quick, Leela. I'm liable to lose my temper.
Hush. You can listen to everything I say.
I will anyway.
Well, Horace Hooker, what a surprise to see you. Come right in, won't you?
Thank you, Leela. Well, aren't you going to ask me why I'm on crutches?
Oh, are you? Oh, why, goodness gracious, so you are. Horace, it's your lumbago again, and you shouldn't be out in this weather. You go right home, you hear?
It's not my lumbago, Leela.
Now, Horace, don't be vain. You said it wasn't lumbago last time, and you had to go to bed for a week.
Leela, I am not suffering from any organic complaint. I'm walking on crutches because of your fiancé.
Really, Horace?
Yeah, he drives his car around this town like a murderer.
Who's a murderer?
Oh.
Well, is that Mr. Gildersleeve in the dining room, Leela?
Yes, Judge.
I wouldn't have come here if I'd known he'd be here.
Neither would I.
Oh, please, Judge. Let me talk to him for just a minute. Perhaps you wait here.
Well,
please.
All right.
Throckmorton, I asked you to be quiet while I talk to Horace.
You want me to stand there like a wooden Indian while he calls me a murderer?
Now, honey, he didn't call you a murderer exactly. He was just telling me about his injury.
His injury? There's nothing the matter with him.
Throckmorton, he's on crutches, and it's your fault.
He doesn't need those crutches. But if you don't quit calling me a murderer, he will.
Leela, I didn't know you allowed criminals in your house.
Who's calling people criminals?
I've been doing it for 20 years, and I've never missed yet.
Leela, I swore yesterday I'd never speak to that old goat again.
But Throckmorton...
I'll never speak to that fat windbag.
Horace, please.
Tell him this, Leela. There's nothing lower than an ambulance chaser.
Tell him I'll sue him for that.
Yes. All he can think of is suing people, pushing innocent people through the knotholes in the law.
Throckmorton.
Tell the big coward to shut up.
Who's a coward? Tell him to lay down his crutches, Leela, and I'll knock his block off.
Tell him to come ahead.
Boy, stop.
Oh, Leela, what's the matter?
What is it, Leela?
You're going to spoil my whole committee meeting.
Now look what you did, Hooker.
Me? I'm sorry, Leela.
I'm sorry, too, Leela.
I don't believe you, either one of you.
Leela, I've been a bad boy.
I have too, Leela.
Oh, you've both been awful. Now you've got to promise me you won't fight anymore.
Well...
Oh, I knew you weren't sorry.
Well, I won't fight anymore.
Well, neither will I, Leela. We won't fight anymore, Leela.
Honestly?
On my honor as a judge.
On my honor as a gentleman.
That's not the way I like to hear you boys talk. Now shake hands. That's fine. Now you stay friends. I've got to get a clean handkerchief.
I don't mean a word of this, Gildersleeve. I've been seriously injured, and I'm going to sue you tomorrow for $100,000.
I'm not even surprised to hear it, Hooker. But I'll tell you right now, I'll fight you all the way up to the Supreme Court, and if I lose there, I won't pay.
Oh, is that so?
Yes. You don't need those clutches, and you know it.
Prove it.
Prove it,
Oh, that's the way I like to see my two boys. As friendly as two clams in a stew. Well, what were y'all talking about?
Post-war planning.
Oh, that's awfully interesting. Why don't we all sit down for a minute?
Sit down, all right.
Thank you.
I think post-war planning is just as important as rationing, don't you?
I do indeed. In fact, I was...
I'll go, Leela.
No, let me go. Don't forget, Gildersleeve. None but the quick deserve the fair.
Oh, is that so, Judge?
What are you laughing at?
At you old goat. You forgot your crutches.
What do you think? I got a job today.
Well, that's splendid, my boy. What is the job?
It's a cinch. All I have to do is deliver things. I got one here for you.
Well, a messenger, huh?
What's a summons?
Leroy. Good night, everybody.
Music on this program was under the direction of Claude Sweeten. This is Ken Carpenter speaking for the Kraft Cheese Company and inviting you to listen in again next week for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
Right now, which is the most important economy in your food budget? Money or red ration points? Well, most likely the answer is both. So there's no better time to get acquainted with foods like Parquet, the quality margarine made by Kraft. For Parquet costs just 5 red ration stamps and so little money. And yet it has a delicate, appetizing flavor that really satisfies. Yes, you'll like the taste of Parquet spread on bread and toast and rolls, and you'll like it as a seasoning for hot-cooked vegetables, too. If you bake your own cakes and cookies, you'll find Parquet is a real flavor shortening. And it's grand for pan frying. What's more, Parquet is a highly nutritious energy food, and it contains important vitamin A. If your dealer doesn't have Parquet margarine the first time you ask, it's because of wartime shortages and because Parquet is growing more popular every day. But Kraft is doing everything possible to keep all dealers supplied. So watch for Parquet, P-A-R-K-A-Y, Parquet margarine made by Kraft. This program came to you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.